Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Wilson with Modified Independence. This is 7 Minutes for Seniors. This is our second segment here at Ortega Gardens with Wendy Ungaro. So I really appreciate you for having me. Yesterday we talked about her a little bit personally and about the levels of memory care that you have here. Um, so I forgot what the question was. I've asked these questions so many times. I can't believe I have to do this. Oh, yeah. That's the first time I've had that. Normally I got my questions right here out of camera. I can't believe I
Right.
just did that. That's so funny.
Funny.
All right. Well, I can't
Thank
edit
God
it
for
out.
editing.
Well, I
We'll
probably
start
won't. I
over.
probably won't edit it out. I'll probably just leave it. Mistakes happen, right? So how exactly how would you say that Ortega Gardens helps seniors? Because you're really helping two people in a lot of cases, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I am talking to families, the most common thing I hear is they don't want to have to place their loved one in a community. They always promise mom and dad or husband or wife that they wouldn't place them in a community. However, what I have to remind them is it's different making that promise when you're just dealing with a health issue. But now, when you add dementia on top of it, that really does change the whole ball game. It's very intensive physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And for caregivers, they often will have their own health issues because it is so stressful. I have so many families that come in and they're really not sleeping at night.
Mm.
Even if they are trying to sleep, their ear is always cocked for that loved one. And it's a beautiful thing to see how much these spouses and these kids do for their loved ones. It really is beautiful. However, it is often to the detriment of the caregiver. So I tell people that, you know, when you bring your loved one into us, we know it's a hard decision. We do. But you get to go back to being their wife, their husband, their daughter, their son, instead of being full-time caregiver. Here at Ortega Gardens, we really do work closely with our families. It's very important to us. No, as much as we try, we can never know them as well as you do. And so we're going to work as a team so you don't lose all control. You just are able to sleep again at night and be able to enjoy them in a way that you haven't in a very long time. So that's what we do for the caregiver. I run a support group every month, and I've actually had a number of caregivers say that they felt that we saved their lives. It became
Mm.
that serious. I had another person tell me we saved their marriage. It
Mm.
became that serious for the child and the spouse. Um, so that's what's important for the caregivers. As far as for the residents, we keep them on a very strict schedule. They have breakfast, they have lunch, they have dinner, they have all their activities, all at a set time that's consistent every day. No matter how hard we try to replicate that in our own personal home, you
Mm.
can't.
No.
Life happens all the time, and you can never do what we can do in that set schedule. And someone with dementia finds comfort, finds safety, finds a good, cozy feeling in knowing how their day is going to go every day.
Mm-hmm.
They also no longer have to worry about bills. They no longer have to worry about driving. They no longer have to worry about the things that weigh us down every
Mm-hmm.
day. There are times I go, I would like to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a great meal put in front of
Yeah.
me. I have fun things to do. I
Yeah.
get to, kind of go back to college dorm living where I get to know somebody and they become friends. My own mother in law was here for a number of years before she passed. And she had lost all of her friends through death. As they
Mm-hmm.
aged, she
Mm-hmm.
was close to 90. She'd lost all her friends. She hadn't had a special friend in many years. And she came here and she met her best friend, Sarah. And I would walk down the hall and Sarah would be sitting on her bed. Mom would be sitting in her chair. They'd be chatting like little college girls. It was so heartwarming
Yeah.
because women need other women, even if they have dementia, even if they're 90 years old, they need other women.
Hmm.
The men also need other men, and we have an actually very high percentage of men here.
What's your mix right now? What's your case
Oh, we
mix?
are probably 50-50.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's crazy because statistically, the population isn't like that, right?
No, and
Huh.
usually, at least for Alzheimer's, that affects more women than
Right.
men. But quite honestly, we love our men.
Yeah.
Our men are wonderful. And so I do think there are other places that aren't as eager to take men because they're bigger. Physically, it's a little harder for caregivers, but we staff well. So we have no trouble with
Right.
bringing men into our community and trying to really meet their needs too, because their needs are a little bit different than the women as far as activities and different things. Um, but yeah, that kind of
So who would be your ideal client?
my ideal client is honestly anyone that really needs us. Because they will all benefit from a stimulating programming activities. They will all benefit from our care staff and how much we care and nurture. We do have nurses on staff, unlike a lot of other places. Our director of nursing is an RN. So anybody with any of that, we can because of our ECC license, and we use it every day. We can take more medically involved people. So, if they need a special diet, we can accommodate
Mhm.
that. If they need something called PRN medications, which are medications just given as needed, we can do that rather than having to give them a medication all the time, every day, because they can't do those PRN
Right.
medications. We can, handle catheters. We can handle, just a variety of more involved medical.
Just this isn't on the list of questions, but I just thought of it. Have you ever had anybody come and tour the facility like as soon as they get a diagnosis like that, and they're like just like getting an idea of
Mm-hmm.
like this is where when the time comes,
Right.
where we're trying to find the place that we want to go to when
Right.
that time comes.
I have quite often, actually. I do run a wait list, and I tell people $500 deposit, and if you need us, you're on the list. If you end up not needing us, I send that money right on back.
Right.
So it's many have told me it's a nice insurance policy. Somebody who has just been diagnosed, they don't know how it's going to go, and unfortunately, with dementia, you can't
Mm.
predict how it's going to go. Sometimes it'll go nice and slow. Sometimes it'll go slow and then fall off the cliff. Sometimes it will be fast right from the start. You just really don't know. So it makes you able to sleep at night
Hmm.
if you know you might have a plan available when you need it. Um, and because I have that mild neighborhood, I've brought in people that barely have any cognition problems, but their loved one wants them in a place where they know they won't miss any of their
Hmm.
medications. They know they'll shower because they often don't like to
Hmm.
shower,
Right.
even if their cognition is just mild. And so it gives them an opportunity to just kind of get used to it
Yeah.
before they really have to have it.
They're best off falling into a routine as early in the
Mm-hmm.
process as possible.
And I can tell you, our people that we move in the mild neighborhood, their dementia does seem to go a lot slower
Yeah.
than people that come in at moderate or advanced.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're not feeling the caregiver stress or anything like that.
True.
You're worried about your spouse, even though you might not
Mm-hmm.
completely understand what's going on with you, but that
It's
that
true.
that rubs off on you,
It
right?
does. Yep.
You know.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
well, I really appreciate you. This has been our second segment of 7 Minutes for Seniors. We appreciate you watching. Feel free to reach out to her. The credits are going to roll here in a couple seconds. All of her contact is on there. This is a tremendous facility, and we really appreciate you having us. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks.